In this video, I'll be talking about call, apply, and bind in JavaScript. So before I explain you what each of those are, let me start by making an object over here. So I'm just going to make an object name 1, and I'm going to give it a property of name which has the value of xplodivity. Alright, and I'm going to do the same by creating another object, and I'll be naming it nothing but name2, and I'll just give the name as something like, let's say, subscribe. So call, apply, and bind methods, they basically allow us to couple a function with an object. So basically they allow us to attach a function with an object. This way you can call the function on the object as if it belonged to it. Now just to further help you understand what I'm talking about, what I'm going to do is I'm going to first of all write something like this. I'm going to make a function, let's call it print details. Alright, and this is just a variable, and I'm going to assign it to a function, and that function, let's say for now we will not give it any parameters. What we will do is something like this. I'll say console.log, and I'll just print this dot name. Alright, and the name that we're trying to access should come from this object property over here. So now if I just call this function anywhere, it will not show me anything, it will not print anything. So if I just save this and I go to my browser, you can see in the console there is nothing present. That's because right now this over here isn't referencing to anything. So what call allows us to do is, suppose if I just put call over here, then call over here can take multiple arguments. So the first argument that call takes is the this keyword, is what the this should reference to when we call this print details function. So the first argument this call method would take is the object that we want to couple our function print details with. So as you remember in the beginning, I said that call, apply, bind methods are nothing but they are just used to couple a function with an object. So this first argument that you see over here should be the name of the object that I want to couple with this print details function. So if I say over here name1, and I just save this, so when I do print details.call now, it will call print details function normally, but this time because I've mentioned name1 object over here, that this within this print details is going to reference to this object name1. So since I have attached name1 to this function over here, so this is going to refer to this object. So when we do this dot name, it should be name1 dot name, and therefore it should print out xplodivity. So if I save this and I go to my console, you can see that I'm getting xplodivity printed out over here. I'm just going to zoom it in. You can see xplodivity over here. So that's what call does. It helps us couple a function with an object, and then we can pass the object that we want to attach our function with. And once we do that, we can use this function and we can use the different properties of that particular object we couple the function with and do whatever we want. So now apart from the name1 object, if I pass name2 instead over here, this time instead of xplodivity, it should print out subscribe. So if I go to my console, you see it says subscribe. So that's how whatever object we pass over here is the one that gets attached to this function, and then we can perform whatever we want to do within this function itself, because this allows the this keyword to refer to that object. So now another thing we can do with the help of this call is that this allows us to do something called as function borrowing. So what that means is, consider, let me just comment this out for now because we are going to use this again later on. If I just write print details, and then over here I just console log this name over here, and then let me keep this object as it is. Now what happens is, even if I don't use call and I just normally do print details, if I just call print details like name1.print details, name1.print details, in this case we don't need to use call at all because this over here references to this object that it's within. So because we are calling name1.print details, so this refers to that name1. So if I just save this directly, of course it will print out xplodivity without any problem. But what call can do in this situation is, it's going to help us borrow this function. Now what I mean by borrowing that function is, I can use this function within this name2 object as well, and instead of copying this whole thing and pasting it over here and using name2.print details, what call will help us to do is something like this. I can say after name1.print details, I can write over here call, and then within this parenthesis I can just say name2, and if I save this and I go to my browser, then over here you can see I get subscribe consoled out this time. So this means we are calling this object and printing its name property. So when we do this, when we use name1 where the original function is defined, and if we want to borrow this function within another object, then what we can do is we can use printdetails.call and pass the name of the object from which we want to access that function, and this is nothing but function borrowing. So this is also something that call allows us to do. But generally it's not advised to put a function within one object directly if we want to also access it within another object. Instead, it's always better to just remove this and keep a global function present over here so that they can be used within both those objects. So that's why I had just commented out this code, because it's always a good approach to keep this function over here globally instead of just keeping it inside one object and borrowing it within another object by using call. So of course we won't be requiring that, but I just did that to show you what other things call allows us to do. Alright, so now let's go back to what we had previously. I'm going to remove this and I'm going to uncomment this. And over here, this was calling, we were doing print details.call name2. So of course we get subscribe printed out again. So now what if this function was taking multiple arguments, right? As we know that when we do print details.call, the first argument takes the reference to the object that we want to attach this function with. But what if this function had arguments? How would we pass that in the call method? So for that, let's consider this function having two arguments. One will be country, and the other can be, let's say, subscribers. I'll just save this, and let's consider this would say this dot name plus, and let's say from, and then country plus, let's give a space over here, plus subscribers. All right. So now if I want to pass these arguments within this as well, then all I have to do is I can do something like this. Now in call, I can just pass the arguments directly right after this reference to the object. I can just call India over here, and then here I can say something like 500 subscribers. All right, so now if I save this and I go to my console, you will see it says subscribe from India and then 500. So the name over here is subscribe, from country is India, and subscribers is 500. So this is how we can send arguments while using call. Remember, the first argument is always going to be the reference to the object, and then after that, whatever arguments we send is going to map to each of these arguments. So this was all about the call method. Now let's move on to the apply method. Now the apply method is almost similar to the call method, but there's just one very small difference. Now to show you that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this and I'm going to comment this out. I'm going to copy this because I want to show you how similar these two methods are. So instead of call over here, I will replace this with apply, and this part over here is going to be the same as call. So remember, in apply as well, the first argument should refer to the object that we want to couple this function with. So it's totally same as the call method that we had. This first argument is always going to refer to the object that we want to attach this function with. Now the only difference is in the way we pass arguments while using the apply method. So in call, we used to directly pass the arguments, as you can see here, but in apply, the only difference is instead of directly sending these arguments, we have to pass it within an array. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add these square brackets. I'm going to save this, and now if I save this and go to my browser, you can see in the console I get the same output again. So in the apply method, the difference from the call method is in the way we pass our arguments. Over here we pass it normally, but in apply we pass it within square brackets as an array. Now I'm going to comment this out, and I'm going to finally explain you what the bind method does. So the bind method is also almost similar to call and apply, but there are a few differences comparatively. So before I explain you the bind method, one important thing to remember is the bind method returns us the function that we attach the bind method with. So it's always important to remember that call and apply do not return us a function, do not return us a copy of any function, but the bind method always returns us a function. So what I'm talking about is something like this. I'm going to make a variable over here. Let's call it final print details. All right, and I'm going to assign it to something like this. I'm going to say print details, and in the same way we did over here, print details dot apply and so on, I'm going to write over here print details dot bind, and then I'm going to pass the reference of the object that I want to use, and then I'm going to pass in the parameters. So India, and then let's say 500. So this part is totally similar to the call method that we have over here, even the way we pass our arguments, and this obviously is the same in all call, apply and bind. So this is also again going to refer to the object that we want to attach our function to. So the only difference over here is when we use bind with the function like this, bind doesn't return us the value directly. So in this example, as you could see, we were using call and apply directly and it was console logging the output. But in this case, bind will not directly console log what we have here, because when we use bind with a function, what bind does is bind returns us this function itself with the reference of this attached to the function. So what bind does is it will return us print details again, but it will make sure that print details is already attached with the object that we have mentioned over here. So if we pass here name1 or name2, bind, using bind with this function print details will return us a print details function by binding the this to the object that we pass over here, which in this case is name2. So just to show you what I mean, I'm going to console.log final print details over here. Now if I console log this final print details, it should give us this entire function. If I just save this and I go to my browser, there you go, you can see I get this function console logged over here. And when I console log this final print details, bind already makes sure that the this over here is referencing to the object that we mentioned over here. So, and just to prove you that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this print details, I'm going to backspace this, and I'm going to just simply call the final print details over here, and I'm going to save it. And when I go to my browser, you can see I again get subscribe from India 500. So this means this bind over here was returning us the copy of this print details function with the object already assigned to it. So whenever we call this variable later on, which we did down here, it will make sure that within that function, whenever the usage of this comes up, it already has the object assigned to it, because the bind already does that for us. So the advantage of bind is that because bind returns us a copy of the function, so whichever variable in which we assign the copy of that function to, we can call that function anywhere we want in the code. Unlike call and apply, where we have to directly call the function wherever we are using it. So over here, as you can see, call and apply, they directly get called when they get assigned to a function attached to an object. But that's not the case in bind, because in bind we can store a copy of the function, which is print details in this case, and that also has the object assigned to it, the object attached to it, basically based on whatever we provide over here. And this ultimately gives us the power to call this print details function anywhere in the code that we want, because the bind has returned a copy of that function which is stored in a variable. So wherever in our code where we call final print details, it will always reference to that function print details with the appropriate object assignment. And now the last thing to take note of in bind is that what if I was passing an argument over here within this parenthesis. So let's consider I take this 500, I copy it, I remove it from here, and I pass it over here in the final call that we make. So if I save this and I go to my browser, you see it still says subscribe from India 500. So this just means that whatever that I add over here, if there is already any existing argument present over here, then whatever I add in the final call as the argument, that gets added as the next argument. So basically India over here is the first argument because it was attached to this bind over here, and since I haven't provided the second argument over here, if I provide it in the final function call wherever we do it, then that's going to map to the second argument call. So this is all about the bind method, and this is also all about call, apply and bind. So if you enjoyed the video and found it insightful, then please don't forget to like and subscribe, and as usual, stay tuned for more.